This is the Fountainhead Antique Auto Museum here in Fairbanks. We're going to visit it. But first, there's something I want to look at outside before we go in. Right over there. They had this had one like this outside of the Yukon Transportation Museum in Whitehorse, but they didn't have any signage. I got signage here. This is a road grader, as I call it, a snowplow. It is a road grader, and it is horse-drawn. Kind of keep the road smoothed out. I need horses to keep the road smoothed out so the vehicles can get down it. Don't matter to the horses. This is a 1917 Mack 2-ton truck. Now I'll take some better pictures of these signage in a little bit. This is 1929 Cat 15. And don't know if it was used to bulldoze or not. It had a hook there. I'm sure it served a good purpose pulling things out of the sticky places. This is a 1918 duplex model AC 4-wheel drive flatbed truck. I'm not sure what the crank is for. Yeah, it's got a crank. It's crank, put a crank handle on it. I think it was like a dump bed. I'll bet it is. Sure enough, it's got pulleys and stuff up there. This thing could dump. They put their signs up there before I came. Okay. Not all the luxuries of a modern, but that's just a rear window, I guess. If it didn't have a rear window, somebody cut them hole in there so you can see what the heck's behind them. Solid tires, so it's not aired up. But yeah, that's a dump bed. Hand crank dump bed. It'll do the job. Okay, one more free thing before going inside. It's a 1905 Advance traction engine. And there's some more stuff back here too. Let's take it one shot at a time with some photos.
Point at the sleigh. It's not one of our motorized vehicles, but it's a beautiful piece. I would like to point that out.
Oh yeah.
The museum opened first in 2009, so it's pretty spectacular. These are the non-motorized vehicles in part. You see that little bicycle?
Yeah.
And I think, wow, it's a good thing they invented cars. These are some of the early motorcycles.
Yeah.
This is the oldest car in the museum, 1898. It still runs. It doesn't get to go outside anymore. All but 2 or 3 of the cars in the museum run. And in the summer times, they take some of them out and they might be in a parade. There's a placard at every car so that you can see, learn about it. And then there's period clothing throughout too.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
So the clothing is really quite
That's
lovely.
neat.
In this room, you're going to start kind of a little bit to the left, and then you'll go clockwise, and you'll see little pathways around all the cars. And then
All
you
right.
end up finally at this yellow 1936 Packard, and it's the youngest car.
Okay.
So they're all pre-World War II. They're all American made. And then you go off to the left, and you'll go into the Alaska section. In the Alaska section, you'll see some of the first cars that came into Alaska, and how they got here, and some of the snow problems and that kind of thing. So all the photos on the walls are Alaska, and there's lots of things in cases, and there's videos to watch.
All right.
Spend a lot of time here. And the restrooms are off to the left too, and back around.
Okay, sounds
Alright.
good. Thank you.
Thank you. Here, you like receipts? You have one. So this has got to be motorized. He said this is not, that's non-motorized. This one has to be motorized because it's there's no other way to get around with it. It's an old Indian motorcycle, 1912. Well, all they're old, 1917 Cleveland. But, I mean, back in the time, back in 1889, well, people would have thought, what the heck's that thing coming down the road without a horse drop pulling? Actually, there it is on the video screen, too. There he is. He's got the flickering going on here, but yeah, it's driving it around. How fun would that be? Yeah. All right. There you go. Don't touch. I say they know I'm coming. They put up these signs because they know I'm coming. That's like a luxury car. That even got carpet. That's where the name carpet came from. It's a piece of thing in your car, carpet. Yeah, what's that? That's what I've heard. Got carpet in cars before they had them in the house. 1917 Owen Magnetic. 1917 Owen Magnetic. Okay, that's the 1917 Owen Magnetic, model M25 Touring. There's that one that's like up front, just 2 years later. How they improved upon it. Bet bigger tires. Yeah, like the suspension spring system. See, actually, you have to understand. See, this is before they had the Alaskan Highway. So,
Oh yeah, that's important.
1942, and these are early 1900s, way before life. Oh, like this. They have a mirror on the ground so you can look up at the motor underneath it there. Guess that brushy thing would be like a cooling mechanism of some sorts. Neat.
That's cool that we can do that.
And then she says she's got the clothing at each vehicle. Got clothing from 1904 period by this Rambler.
That's cool.
Oh, just so much too. It's like a race car, Model T racer. Hand crank. So you didn't have the electric start, you had your hand crank. 1934. What she said, was a 36 up there? Well, these are racers, but she said that one was the youngest one over there. We'll see, because I have 1937 here, 1938. Oh, look at them racing. These are some cool automobiles. I mean, it's antique. It's what I mean. There's auto museums and there's antique auto museums. way up here in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska. And I wonder if that's where they got the term the trunk. The trunk of the car, because they had a trunk back there to hold your stuff before. Could have started out that way. You can get in this one. They don't have them in order. It just kind of jumps around, but it's still the early part of the 1900s, early part of the 20th century here. I can tell that one's a Ford over there because the hood cover says Ford on it. It's not even a car, it's a snow tractor, snow flyer. Okay, they had one of these screws outside. That video thing is just going through the snow here. Look at that. Snow motor. They had a thing when I was drilling circuit down at Paris Island in 1976 that was similar to that. It was a Chrysler. That thing would kind of screw itself through the marsh there on rescue missions. This is on a tractor though. Neat. Fordson. (1923) Chevrolet. This was, then Dodge came along. Then a good company started making vehicles. And that's how they dressed back in that time. She shows ladies' dress. Model T, 1909 Model T Touring Ford. Well, there's a parade, early parade, motorized parade. It's neat. There's too many cars. And again, I've lost my wife is always a founder. I was fixing to make a run for it. 1906 Cadillac. Glad it didn't end up at the Cadillac Ranch for getting spray painted. Maybe if I get a job here, I could touch stuff. It would be the only way. Sideways engine. 4-cylinder, of course, I think it's all he had. Cool. Well, it's just too much to see. I'm only recording a little bit. I'm mostly soaking the stuff in. At least this one's got this 1907 Carter car. It's got a guy with the clothing of the time. I had to laugh at that one. This car's got a windshield. That's funny. Somebody had gotten tired of bugs hitting them in the face, I guess, and put a windshield on it. And then, of course, somebody got smarter, like the Cadillacs, 1909 Cadillac, and put a full windshield on them. Okay, let me just soak it in here. Definitely worth our stop. (1932) Chrysler. That's supposed to be their newest baby here. Let's see what it is. Yes, 1935 Pierce Arrow. I see one newer than that. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. Or maybe it's the newest to the museum. Said this was the youngest vehicle. Minivan. That's a limousine. It's a limousine. That's what your fancy people would ride in. Rich to do. It's a 1931 Marmon 16, so 16 cylinders, I guess. Yeah, and looks like it's got a glass between the rich guy and the James, the chauffeur, whoever's driving it. That's cool. And the trunk, or a place to put this trunk. I guess it's a regular trunk that goes inside with you, but it's a place to put it. Flaps here for the engine piece. I can't wait to walk around the building. 1936 Packard. Okay, so that's probably their youngest vehicle there. I think it's their Packard. It's kind of touring.
In 1936, 5,000.
Yep, that's a lot of money. More than a year of wages for some people, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of companies were started and didn't make it too good. There's another convertible sedan. Okay, this is a convertible.
Yep.
Getting right up fancy here in the 30s. Just for the Depression. Probably when a lot of these went out of business.
Oh,
So yeah, the top's going to come off of that one. And if it folds down the back, or you have to leave it at home in your garage. Convertible. All right, so it's a neat place. Yeah, this was just before the Roaring '20s when things really took off. Oh my, how many cylinders can I count on that one? It's a 6-cylinder, I guess. Got about 6 of them, and each one of them has 2 spark plugs or so. It's cool. It's a 1917 Pierce Arrow. But I like to hear that they have the vehicles, antique vehicles, dress from the period, dresses that were worn during that period of time, and they're playing music from the time period. Hope it's not copyright. Is that before copyright came into existence? That's like, yeah, that's a 6-cylinder. Not sure when the V8 came out, but that was. No, this is a V12. They already had the V-shaped engines, the twice the amount of cylinders in them. V12. See, this is a trunk. I would imagine, just guessing, and I'm not going to research it, but that's probably where the term trunk came in. Put it in the trunk of your car. You got a trunk on the back of the car. And then you got a nice metal trunk here. It's removable. I mean, trunk's removable. I guess you got your valuables in it. You don't want to leave them out. Also got a lock. It's removable, so take it in with you. Looks like a clothing rack on the back.
Oh yeah, that is like.
What do you put your put your stuff behind it?
Is it the back? Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, well,
Trailer.
the gas tank's back there too. And that seat folds down. That's where that's like probably mother-in-law's seat, like kid's seat. I am back outside now. Going to finish my walk around the building. Starting with this 1915 to 16 Dodge Model 3035 touring car. And this is all that's left of this one. They probably had one inside. It's like this, but that one's a flower bed now. There was a saw truck at the Pioneer Park. This one's different. Anyway, it's a portable saw. You got the saw blade here. It's run by the engine. Looks like this is turned sideways now or something, but or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it would drive around like this. Anyway, I've got a thing to pull the belt that would turn the saw blade. You can go around cutting woods up, and it's got they got a log here to show how it's working here. Not very safe, I don't imagine. But then a lot of things back then was not. See what it got. They got something on the other side. Anyway, there's nothing more to see here. I'm at the back side of the building. This trail doesn't go all the way around, so that's all there is to see here. Let's go on to our next place of entrance.